recording. So whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Actually.
Hello, Miss Alexandra Bell. Welcome to the CTBTO Youth Newsroom Project, CTBTO Youth TV. Yesterday you was on the panel for the NPT review conference.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your the perspectives like? There will be like any consensus on the next coming review conference for the NPT?
That's a complicated question. I hope that we can go into the 2020 review conference acknowledging the problems that we face in the arms control and non-proliferation, disarmament realms, and perhaps not focus on consensus as much as shared values, goals, understandings, and potentially not tie ourselves to a consensus document that may not come about, that we might be setting ourselves up for failure. So instead of coming into the review conference, listing off all the complaints that we have about other countries and what we think they're not fulfilling in their obligations, perhaps focus on new things, perhaps emerging technologies, conversations about the emplacement of nuclear warheads on drones or autonomous vehicles. Maybe that's a place where we can have some forward progress while we're having problems on a lot of other fronts.
Okay, so right now, like the US and Russia, they are also like the evolved to build their new like the weapons for that.
Yes.
Like, so, and there was also like recently the US posture review conference. So what do you think about that? That it affects the efforts for to bring the especially to the CTBT treaty into the force.
Yes, the U.S. nuclear posture review was not good in the sense that the administration said they didn't want to go forward with comprehensive test ban treaty ratification. The silver lining was that the administration made it clear that it was supportive of the international monitoring system and wanted to continue to fund and support the verification and monitoring technologies that the CTBTO has created. And honestly, as has been said by the previous Secretary of State, John Kerry, the IMS is truly a modern scientific wonder. And I'm glad to see that there's bipartisan support in the United States for the IMS. The treaty ratification is a political issue in the United States and something we'll continue to work through. I think it would be important for states who are supportive of CTBT to make that clear to the United States when they are in bilateral discussions, multilateral discussions, but to also focus on the other Annex II states that have yet to ratify or sign the treaty. It's not just the United States. There are a number of countries. When it comes to U.S.-Russia, Russia has also made some provocative and I think unhelpful statements recently, pronouncements about potential new nuclear weapon systems. It's very clear to me that the United States and Russia need to get back into a strategic stability dialogue as soon as possible and really stay at that dialogue until we can get some progress on some more bilateral progress on disarmament. The U.S. and Russia control over 90% of the world's nuclear weapons. They have a lot of work to do between the two of them before other countries really have to, start disarming at larger numbers. That isn't to say that other nuclear weapon states shouldn't be participating in arms control and disarmament discussions right now, today, even if they aren't making concrete moves. Simply the dialogue is important.
So like there is a lot of debate is going on between the U.S.-Russia relation and then the Russian influence on the North Korean issues. So do you think that there is any role of the Russia for this cancellation toward the U.S.-North Korea Smith cancellation?
I think a North Korean nuclear weapons program is a threat to international security. It's a threat to everyone. And the provocative statements that have come out of Pyongyang towards other countries in the region, that makes it a problem for everyone. So Russia can play a role in helping to facilitate a good, substantive dialogue on the nuclear weapons program there. I think at this point, North Korea is very focused on getting a meeting with the United States, and that's been a bit of a roller coaster process. It's my hope that partners and allies in the region will continue to press both parties to go and have a good dialogue sometime soon, hopefully.
and how you see that the North Korea is already saying that they are ready for the denuclearization and they already destroyed their tunnels. So
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
Destroyed, I think, is a is a a loaded term. I think they did collapse some tunnels and they blew up the observation tower that was there at the test site, but it's not to say that they couldn't restart a process. They didn't have any experts present, which I thought was a problem. I think CTBTO has a lot of experts that could have gone and helped to do a more thorough verification of that destruction process. North Korea could also choose to test somewhere else. Countries around the world with nuclear weapons programs had multiple nuclear test sites. There's nothing to stop North Korea from testing elsewhere, short of becoming a party to the CTBT, which is something that I hope they will consider.
So, CTBT started this youth programs, and they're 2 years. And how you feel there's any difference in the atmosphere of the whole process for the CTBTO?
I think it's absolutely tremendous that Dr. Zerbo and the CTBTO have put an emphasis on bringing young people into this conversation. This treaty was open for signature 22 years ago. It's been a while since it's been on the front page of the news. And I think the way that we're going to get entry into force is to have young people around the world, and particularly in the Annex II states that have yet to ratify, engaged in this conversation and pressing their leaders to go ahead and finish what we started.
Thank you for our time, for giving the time to us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.